Okay, so the next thing we will do is to improve this table, but before I do that, there are a couple of things for me to fix. I noticed that the keys which I removed earlier, I forgot to remove these three. So if we check our result, make a right click, go to inspect, you will see we have some warnings under the console. Okay, the warning is about this one. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. So that means we are not having a unique key prop. Okay, it is simply a warning. It won't stop the whole thing from working, but it will actually prompt you the warning. So let me do Control D, Control D, Control D. Let me delete what is there and let me save, and I do hope that that should fix it. Okay, so we still have the warning, the JSX line 46. Let me go ahead and check where else do I have line 46. Okay, so let me make a slight change here. Let me open a bracket, close a bracket, and then make an index. Okay, so this is going to be just the index. So I have made a slight change to this, and now let me refresh and see if I do get the error. So it looks like we don't have the error anymore. Okay, so now it is high time that we proceed with other things. So if you remember that, oh, here we have an issue with the name. Let me find out where, what did I do to change the name? Now we have the result.name. Okay, actually it used to be a result.ng. I make a change earlier, and okay, so this is how it should be in your own. So there are a couple of changes that I would like to make in this table. So if you remember, like this serial number is just static number, so we will start by making it dynamic. And how will I do that is, let me come to the beginning before the return statement over here. Let me press enter and let me create the serial number, start it as 0. You notice that I use let because I want to be able to change the value of the serial number. So I will come down here and change this to serial number plus equals to 1. Okay, so that is how this is going to look like. And let me save and let me check. So you see now we have 1 and 2. The next thing we will fix is to actually determine this submitted. So for that, I will need to go to the underlying query and do something more to it. So let me go to the index here. This is my query, and this is the submitted, okay, which I simply sum the submitted. So now I also would like to do count e.id as all PUs, okay, or let me say all rec. It depends on how you want to make it. I think PUs is good for this. So we have these all PUs, and also I will come down here. This LG, I will make it as name. okay, so that I will have a more universal name to work with. So let me go ahead and save that, and then I will come back to my query. I will come back to my source code, and then this is going to be the submitted all over all POs, okay, respectively. So that is for this. And also this result.lg, I will change it into result.name. So let me go ahead and save that, and then let me check it out. So I will refresh. Okay, so you can see now we have this submitted as 0 out of 295 for Basa and 0 out of 913 of just now. So let us try to make some submissions and see how the result is actually going to look like. So let me use the election database, and let me update election table, and I will set is submitted equals to 1, where ID is, let's say, less than 20. So you see, for that we are going to affect 19 rows. So let me save that, and let me go ahead and refresh. So you see, now we can see 19 have been submitted out of 295, which is affecting Basa. And now if I come and do something like where ID is less than, let's say, 400, let's say 700, and ID greater than, let's say, 500. Okay, so that means now this should affect just now, and it should be between 500 to 700 respectively. So let me go ahead and run that, and let me refresh. So now you see we have 199 affected, affecting just not. We have 19 for Basa, and we have 199 for just not, meaning that the submitted is now working as it should, okay, for both just not and Basa respectively. So the next thing we will fix is going to be the total valid, which is this column. Right now it is just static, which is right here, just static, but we want to make it dynamic. And how we make it dynamic is for us to sum up whatever result we have, this for ADC, for APC, for LP, all the way to SDP. So whatever result we have, that is what will make us the total valid. So how we can do that is we go back to the query, and I think, let me do something here. Let me break this into another line, and let me simply copy this, Ctrl C, copy them. Okay, I think, let me just paste them right here, Ctrl V. Okay, like so. So now for this I will simply remove this and make it a plus, so that I am actually summing all those sum functions. And this comma, I don't need it actually, so let me remove the comma. Okay, so the last one is going to be as total valid respectively. So let me go ahead and save that, and also go back to my result and simply change this to result dot total valid. Okay, so let me save that, let me refresh and see what do I get now. All right, so it looks like it works. As you can see, we have 73 over here, and we can see the 73 showing here. This one is for APC. Let's assume that LP has gotten something. Let's say LP has gotten 100 for Basa. Let's say like 200 for just now. Let me do some little updates. So let me set LP equals to 100 somewhere in Basa. So let's say where the ID is equals to, let's say 10 or something. Let me run that. And also let's say the 200 for just north. Let me go with like 600 ID. Okay, and now let me refresh. Okay, it works. So you can see LP has 100 now, and before we have 73, meaning 173, and then this one is 60, then this is 200, making it 260 respectively. So which means this one too, this total valid is now dynamic, is working as it should. Then now the total cast. The total cast is going to be the total rejected from the total plus the total valid. That is what is going to make us the total cast. So how we can achieve that is by simply coming over here and saying result dot total valid plus result dot rejected votes. Okay, that is our total cast. All right, but there is one thing which we also like to do. If our total cast becomes greater than the accredited, then that means there is overvoting, and we like to indicate that that result to become red, to indicate overvoting there. So how we can do that is we come over here, and the way I will render this is going to be entirely different. So let me break this down into a couple of lines. Okay, and put some dynamic content here, and I will simply do, let me open bracket, result dot total valid plus result dot rejected votes if they are greater than result dot accredited voters if they are. Okay, then we want to do something. So let me open bracket down here, and if they are not, then we want to do something else. Okay, so for this td, I would like to bring it inside here, and let me make a duplicate of it. Control Shift Alt down arrow key, and then let me bring the other one down here. So as you can see, now we don't have any breaking of our code. Okay, so here we are using some ternary operation to determine how we display this td. So what should be the difference between these two tds is that if it is, then here we want to say text red, let's say 600. Okay, that is what is going to be the only difference. So let me go ahead and set that, and then as you can see we have the we have both of them as red because what we have inside the total cast is greater than the accredited. Let's assume that this accredited for Basa is 200, for example. So let me do accredited voters is equals to 200, where ID, let's say, is equals to let's say 2. Can be anything actually. Let me run, and then let me refresh. Okay, so you see we have accredited 200, the total cast is 173, meaning that we don't have overvoting, so it is black, but just not is showing red because there is overvoting. So now our table is fully dynamic.